Hi, my name is Ray Catola, and you may know me from the such projects as... You may also know me as the host of the internet's favorite harness handicapping show, North American Harness Update, which I host with these two guys, Mike Prebosi and Rod Adams Jr. Every Friday from 9 p.m. Eastern, you can catch us talking harness, handicapping harness, and most importantly, having fun with harness. Can we please get this stuff out of my face? Thank you! North American Harness Update, Fridays from 9 on SRN1. Also download Often Pacing and using promo code NAHU200K, start your stable with an additional 200,000 coins. You can also catch show archives and racing analysis over at our website, NAHUPicks.com!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to, or good morning also. I don't know when you're watching this, to another edition of North American Harness Update Extra. Joined here by Mike Prebosi and Rod Adams Jr. We're here to talk about the Pick 5 carryover that was supposed to happen on Friday night at the Meadowlands, but then, the wind blew it into Saturday. So this sequence starts with race number 3. Pick 5 features a $125,000 guaranteed pool. And Mike, for you, starting with this first leg, it's an on-winners of 2 for a purse of $10,000. You felt that it's a pretty straightforward kickoff.
Well, I think only 3 can win. The first being the 1, life happened, to start back for McIntosh. Raced well first 2, had the rail both times. I was second at 22-1, third at 7-1. Now it gets Jingra. The horse tends to behave himself, so I like the post. I think should be right there. The 3 Long Beach. This horse finished second last time and kind of picked up pieces to be second, but still came home 27-3. I like Silva, Brett Miller. Connections are good. This horse just needs a trip. And then the 6 Yo Apollo Creed. Third back also has braking issues, but that race off the layoff, flew home 26-4, was subsequently sub-even money the next race, and in the slop and Croker. Who knows what this horse can do if it stays flat. If you look back, September 15th, won pretty easy here in 51-3. That something like that crushes these 1-3-5.
Rod, do you like my box? If not, who do you like in this race?
I'm going 4 deep here. I'll start with the 1. I agree with Mike. This horse is good enough to win this race, and with the rail should be tough, especially with Yannick on. The 3 I'm going to use as well. Probably going to be the favorite here. Not a lot to dislike about this horse off that last race. Raced really well. Should be right there once again. Same type of bunch. I'm going to go down to the 6, Yo Apollo Creed. Broke on that really crappy track last time. Start before that race well after getting interfered with, and does have a big shot. He can close a ton when he gets a trip, any kind of trip really. He's got a big late kick, so I'm going to use him. And then down to the 9, Sports Cowboy. Parked first over last time. Just got tired late. I'm going to use him. He's going to be following cover here, and hopefully he gets drug up close enough to use a late burst to go by a few. 1, 3, 6, 9.
I think you don't like the box. Fine. I'll give you the horse I like in this first leg then. I'm not very creative. We touched on the 2 horses I have, the 3 and the 6. The 3 Long Beach. Second start off the bench. Should improve off a decent mile first out. Or actually third start off the bench, should improve even further than he did last time. And the 6 Yo Apollo Creed, if this horse can stay flat, his lines back in September show that he should crush this field. But again, the caveat is that he has to stay flat, and he's probably going to take plate 2. And other than that, there's not really much more form in this field, so I'm 3-6 by default almost. The second leg is race number 4. It's a $12,005 claimer for a purse of $8,000. 10 more going posted here. Mike, for you, is this a fairly open race?
4 deep. If you look at the race, there's a lot of horses that miss time. I think that makes it tougher. So the horse I like best, I think, is the 10, Ultimate Beach Boy. This is Burke. It raced last time off a little bit of a break and was bet to 3-1. Was in that 6-gun race and that horse basically sat the pocket and one punch late. This horse tried to rally, but just couldn't reach. Closed in 27. He's a use. The 8 Ideal Shadow. This horse was racing well, but has had one race in basically a month and a half. So belongs, just went up to 15 claimers and raced well, but got picked off by a closer. I'll use that one. The 4 Drunken Tear. This horse is a closer. Came home 27-1 last time in that 6-gun race. It does get a little bit of the setup here, I think, with all the speed. So I want this horse maybe kicking off cover, and then the 1 Terror of the Night was claimed for 10, stepped in for 12, flew early. That was on February 10th, and that pace was fast. Glass Prince won that race from off the pace. This horse can do anything with the time off. Could be right there again. 1, 4, 8, 10.
Rod, how about for you?
I'm 3 deep. I'll start with the 3 JoJo Jove. Got a perfect ride last time. Gets Marone tomorrow night. Draws inside. I think the horse has been racing okay. 2 starts back was first over, just faded. He's in a spot he could get another good trip, and that was off a really good mile last time, so I'll use him. The 6 Spaghetti Eddie. Second start off a short layoff there. Missed about 2 months. This horse, last time, I thought he raced pretty well coming off the layoff, and he was driven pretty conservatively, just sat on the rail. And with that type of start, I think he's in a better position in this race to be able to go forward tomorrow. 11-time winner last year. And then the 8 Ideal Shadow. Jim Pantaleano. Horse made 2 moves last time with Corey Callahan. Just missed. This is a similar bunch, so I do see him being close, and he's going to be leaving, especially with Pantaleano. He is pretty aggressive driving, especially from the outside over there at the Meadowlands. So 3-6-8.
Now, if I had to give my expert opinion here, the 1 Terror of the Night is who I start with. This horse drops back, or moved up to the 12.5 level last time and raced decently after being claimed for 10,000 the start priors. He seems like he should perform well against this group and should improve second start off the claim. Drunken Terror is the 2nd horse I use. Another one that's raced decently since being claimed 3 starts back. Comes off a 3rd place finish with a 27-second final quarter. Last out, and if he gets a similar setup, could end up performing just as well. And the 3rd horse I use is the 6 Spaghetti Eddie. Just a funny name to say. But he's also making his 2nd start off the bench, was claimed twice at the end of the season last year at Harris, Philadelphia, and comes in off a really decent race, riding the rail to finish 4th, coming with 27-3 against 12.5. I would be 1, 4, 6. 3rd leg of this Big 5, race number 5. Numbers at 3,500 their last 5 starts. 10 more going postward here. Mike, for you, what do you see?
We're deep. The 3 Man Cruise West. I liked this horse last time at a big price and had the outside. Got away good, but then just ended up fading. This is sort of a better spot now. Numbers at 3,500, draws inside. Should be up close early again. The 5 Warren Mudd at 10 hole last time. Tried to get out early, ran into work and play hard. He was, pretty much sitting on that win. I think this is a little bit of an easier spot, so I'm going to use that one also. The 7, Twin Creeks Jesse. This horse is another dropper from numbers of 5,000. If you look back last time at numbers of 3,500 on January 19th, this horse won on the front, then ran into JT, Yoshai and Rocky, Wick. Those are all better horses than these. I would expect this horse would try to go for the lead again. And then I'm going to use the 10, John Daly. Raced in the big stretch mark. Raced the last time, that's numbers of 4, 5. That was a tougher race. It was 80-1 in there. Gets a driver change to ANAP in here. And that's really what's pushing me towards that one. 3, 5, 7, 10.
Rod?
I'm 3 deep here. Start with the 1 Buckeye in charge. Gets a big driver change to Andy Miller. Draws the rail. This horse should be driven much more aggressively, and he's got a shot. I don't think you're going to see 3-1. You're probably going to see closer to like 5 or 6-1 on this horse. but every time somebody else jumps on this horse, he seems to race pretty well. So I'm going to use him. The 5 Mike touched on. The last start, he just got used and abused early. Eric Carlson jumps on this one. Had been facing some pretty decent horses and should be better if he doesn't get used quite as hard, which, from an inside post, he shouldn't have too much of an issue there. And then the 10, John Daly. I got nothing to add from what Mike said. I'm using him on the driver change, even though he's got the 10 hole. So 1, 5, 10.
I just learned that I cannot read without these glasses. I'm too deep here, and also it's John Daly. John Daly has 1 L, and he's also an actor. I'm too deep with the 3. May I?
No, he's a golfer.
Dropping down. The hours of 5,000 last 5 from post 9. Gets post improvement here. Has raced decently against 10,000 claimers in the past, which, might be a weaker bunch than this, but still it appears he has form to at least do well here from an inside post. And I also use the 7 Twin Creeks Jesse as the second horse I use. Drops in class after some decent races against hours of 5,000 here at the Meadowlands. Came up in 26 and change last out to finish 6th, and 26 and change 3 starts ago too. Seems probably just like he would fit the bottom level better, especially considering on January 19th, when he was last at this level, he won at 52 and 3. So I'm 3-7, taking a bit of a shot there in the third leg. Fourth leg, race number 6. Now it's a 5,000 last 5 starts, 10 more going posted here. Mike, I thought that this was a fairly tough race to find any kind of form. I'm not sure if you agree.
It is tough. I'm 3 deep. He used the 4 Southern Pursuit, lost to work and play hard last time, but raced, I thought, extremely well in the front. Just got picked off late, and the last 2 races are good. That Northern Assassin race is better than these horses, so I'm going to use that one. The 6 Chip Walther, hard to leave this one out. Pretty much now or never. Has dropped all the way from dollars of 20,000 down to dollars of 3,500, and gets ANAP here. Was driven a little more aggressively last time, and raced okay to be third. I'm not going to let him beat me. And then the 9, Dancing with the Light, came off the layoff, was almost 3-1 in that race. Really had no shot for Burke. Now gets Jingra and should be driven very aggressively here. So 4, 6, and 9.
Rod, for you.
I'm going to start with the 2, Hope for Badlands. Brett Miller, he's got the 2 hole again, come first over last week. Raced really well to be third. Has been close every single start on the program. I see no reason why he won't be close again. If he gets a trip this time, maybe he can pop at a decent price. The 4 Southern Pursuit, another one, he's been close every week. Marcus took this horse. A little note on the 6 there. Last week he got a perfect setup. He should have won that race by 10 lengths.
I agree.
He refused to go by horses. He's not himself. That's why I'm not going to use him. And then I'll go down to the 9, Dancing with the Light. Come home 27 flat last time off a very conservative drive. First start off a long layoff. And so this is second start. Yannick jumps back on. He does draw outside, but I think he's going to get a much more aggressive drive tomorrow night in this race. So 2, 4, 9.
I'm not a big fan of Dancing with Delight, mostly because it reminds me of my own mortality, so I'm too deep. Starting with the 2, Hope for Badlands, who moves up in class after racing well against ours at 3,500. Never really scored a win against that group. But of the few horses that have any form, Hope for Badlands is one of them, or at least any form that's really discernible on paper. He might be a decent price, too, moving up the class ladder, especially with no wins under his belt. Which is definitely a plus for me. And the other horse I use is the 4 Southern Pursuit, who last out missed by a length after setting the pace most of the way. Against hours at 3,500. Also moves up the class ladder here and has been racing consistently well against the bottom level. And again, up in class, maybe at a disadvantage, but could be in the right spot if the setup goes his way. 2-4 for me. In the 4th leg, final leg, then is race number 7, the 5th leg of the sequence. This is the preferred handicap for a purse of $20,000. And Mike, there are 7 horses lining up here. What do you got?
I'll try the outside 2. They have the most class. Western Joe, the 7, has won 2 in a row and has won from tough spots. I mean, he's not winning from perfect trips. he just continues to, fire home and get there. He's won 4 out of 5 this year. Then the 6 Awesomeness put it all together last time. Marone took the horse to the front, faced pressure the entire way, and still kicked away to win by 2. I'll use those 2 to finish 6-7.
Rod, you sure you don't like my box?
I'm sure. But I'm going 5-6 here. Dr. J. Hanover, first start off the layoff. He may need one, but that was a really good qualifier. Actually, both of his qualifiers are really good. I think if he's ready, he crushes this group. If he needs one, he's still going to be close. It's just going to depend on the trip. And then the 6 Awesomeness. Last week, he impressed me, and he's one of those horses that when he gets his way for a quarter of a mile, he's going to fight him off and be good. So 5-6.
Finish him.
Well, Sonny, let me tell you a story about the 3 horses I used in this last race. Except I'm going to do it in a flashback, so that way I have reason to talk in a normal voice. I'm 3 deep, starting with the 1 Endeavor for a possible price. Draws well, looking back. 4 starts ago, 1 from the rail here in the preferred handicap. Going 25 and change odds of 12-1. So he definitely is able to perform well at this level. He just needs, again, the right setup and to be at the right place at the right time. Dr. J. Hanover is the second horse I use, coming in off of 2 good qualifiers. Could be ready to fire first time out. Horse has a lot of back class as well. So he definitely belongs at this level. And the 6 Awesomeness moves back up to the preferred level after winning against now. It's a 15,000 as the odds-on favorite. He's another one that has proven that this is the class level he should be in, and his lines also show that he can perform decently at this group as well. So I'm 1-5-6 in the last leg, which makes my pick 5 ticket go as follows. For 50 cents, I'm 3-6 with 1-4-6 with 3-7 with 2-4 with 1-5-6. That's $36.50. Mike, your ticket.
1-3-6 with 1-4-8-10 with 3-5-7-10 with 4-6-9 with 6-7. It's 1-44.
Whew, I hope you wrote down all those numbers. Rod, your ticket.
1-3-6-9 with 3-6-8 with 1-5-10 with 2-4-9 with 5-6. It's $108 for 50 cents.
And with all of that said, this has been another North American Harness Update Extra. We just came off of our live show, which you could watch and also listen to Fridays from 9 p.m. Eastern on 148.ca/1, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, now Twitch also, because we're going to start. We're gamers now, apparently. Also, Make sure you check out NAHUpicks.com for racing analysis every race day from Western Fair, Woodbine, and the Meadowlands, as well as you can also catch archives from our shows up there as well, or also on YouTube the day after it airs. But until then, I have been Ray Catolo, and I need to take a drink.